Well, my name's Charles Dance, and I'm here principally to promote a show called Going Postal, which is going out on Sky One in England. Where it's going out anywhere else, I don't know. And it's the third of Terry Pratchett's books that Mob Film have made for Sky, and I like to think this is the best of the three, actually. And it's about, like all of Terry Pratchett's works, it's kind of vaguely Dickensian. So much of the characters have kind of onomatopoeic names, wonderful names, like the villain of the piece in Going Postal is called Reacher Gilt. It's a great name, and the central character is Moist von Lipwig. They're wonderful names. And although they're set in a completely fictional, almost scientific-like world, Discworld, which is where Going Postal is set, is a world that is built on the back of a giant turtle. This is Terry Pratchett's extraordinary brain. And of course the sad thing everybody knows, because he's made no secret of the fact, is that Terry is in the beginning stages of Alzheimer's. This is a man who's produced, I think, something like 140 books. He's incredibly prolific. And this vivid, extraordinary imagination, and the mind that created that is now being afflicted by this awful disease, basically. It's rather like an extremely gifted cellist suddenly getting chronic arthritis in the fingers. It's bizarre, but there you go. And but like all of his books, they have such a wide audience appeal. There's a romantic element, there's a thriller element, there's a kind of fantasy world element, and I'm just astonished that somebody hasn't picked up the theatrical rights to Terry Pratchett's work. Well, having said that, I'm astonished. Actually, I know why they haven't, because Terry is very, very particular about the adaptations of his work, and I know that people have done adaptations, taken options on the books, done adaptations on them, and Terry has read them and thought, no, I don't want you to do this because it's not good enough. Which says a lot for him, because a lot of writers, they all have to live the same as we do, and they would just sell their work to the highest bidder and not give a monkey's what happens to it. I try to find something that is as different as it can possibly be from anything I've done before. I think all actors would do that. Sometimes, depending on how much money there is in the bank, you have to do something that is similar to something you've done before, because in this business, you are what you're seen to be. And if you're seen to be doing something reasonably well, the odds are you'll get asked to do something similar again. I like characters that you want to know more about. If everything is laid out 100%, then you might as well switch off. There's nothing else worth seeing, you've seen all this. But if a character comes with kind of built-in mystery, that's always an attraction for an actor. A central character is an actor called Richard Coyle, who has wonderful qualities. He has the qualities of a romantic leading man. There's a kind of Jack the Lad con man element to him, and he drives this thing very much so. Because years ago I went to art school, I didn't go to drama school, and I studied graphic design and photography, and I like to think I have a reasonably well-developed visual sense, and that I understand the language of the camera, and I know about lenses and what they do to people. And I spent enough time on a film set to at least be able to play the role of a director. And the only thing that worried me about it was that I wondered whether I would have the stamina, because as an actor, you get hours sitting around. Well, not that long these days, because everybody has to work that much faster, but there are times when you're sitting down, or scenes that you're not involved in, because as a director you're there from first thing in the morning to last thing at night. And actually I found it incredibly energizing. No sooner had we had breakfast than it was supper time, and then it was wrap, and I looked at what we shot that day, and I loved it, to be frank with you. Not any more or less than acting, but I just like the business that we're in. I like all the kind of mechanics and the paraphernalia of it, and I like the people that work in it. Slightly, more than I like the theatrical community, which is in my blood as an actor, but there's a kind of misplaced conceit in the theatre that tends to look down on film and television. It is a misplaced conceit.